Hello everyone, welcome back to Berks One-on-One Vlogs. Today is going to be a bit more of a me talking in the chair episode because this is going to be about the Berks Cultural Diversity Festival that took place on September 27th in City Park in Reading. And I did go to get footage and I did talk to some people. The problem is that plain and simple, there was just very, very loud music throughout the entire event, which is great for when you're going, but when you're trying to do a video and talking to people, you cannot hear them at all, and there just wasn't enough of like a consistent pause in between it. There are going to be some clips I have of the MC talking to some of the people at the booths, so you'll be able to hear that. There will be some people talking about their booths, and I will have clips from the actual event, and I will talk about who I met there and what they were talking about. This is going to be similar to my Berks County Fair video, in that I have some thoughts about the event that I want to share that are not meant to be a negative, like, this event was bad type of video, but more of a, I just have a little bit of feedback I want to share. The last time I made that kind of video, when I made it about the fair, the response from it actually was positive. The people who were in charge of the fair reached out to me, and now I'm actually going to be helping them with the next event. So I'm taking that as a positive sign, that talking about these events in a very fair but still somewhat critical way is not something that's going to alienate people too much, because obviously I'm not approaching this in a negative, we shouldn't be doing this at all kind of mentality. I'm specifically doing this because I really like the idea and I really like the energy, and I want to see everybody succeed in Berks County, and I want to see all events do great. And so if I notice that there are some small things that maybe could be altered just from my experience personally as someone who goes to a lot of events, then hopefully people will appreciate that. And if not, then well, you can always just ignore me, because I'm just like one guy. And you can listen to anybody else that went and had a great time, because I'm sure there's lots of people who didn't have any complaints, and you can perfectly listen to them. Again, I'm just one person expressing my personal opinions. So let's first get into it. When I showed up, it was about 2 o'clock, which is a couple hours after the event started. So if there was stuff beforehand, sorry that I missed it. But for things to do at this event, basically there are about 3 different things you can do. You can, 1, listen to some of the performers up on the stage. So basically you have a big amphitheater and there's different performers throughout the day from different groups and organizations. Number 2 is you can talk directly to the people in those organizations at their different stands. Some of them have just information booths, some of them are there to talk to you, some of them business cards, little games they can play. And then the third thing, of course, you can buy food and little trinkets and little souvenirs and stuff like that. Each group has a different cultural background they're representing. Each business has their own group that they're representing. Sometimes that's just they happen to be from there, sometimes they're part of an organization. Some of them are specific chapters from larger nationwide organizations or statewide organizations. And some groups aren't necessarily there to represent a cultural background, but they're there just like general ambassadors for their group, just to, talk about what they're doing. So like Berks County Planning Commission isn't representing a specific cultural background, they're just there to hear community feedback. So they were also there. As far as the performances go, they're good. The performances are good. I will say that I think that this is where my first, this maybe is a little bit of an issue popped up, which is that you can't really see some of the performances from most angles. So the way the park is set up, you have the big stage here, and then because of the way it's on a hill, there are steps that go up. So there's different sections, and the vendors are sort of looping around the amphitheater in that, based off of each step. The problem is that if you're a vendor in the back, you're going to be blocked off by all of the vendors in front of you, and as a result, you can't really see the stage. I noticed it when I was ordering food in the back. I literally, as I was waiting for my food, wanted to watch the performance, and I couldn't see anything, and I saw that the people at the actual stands were going out of their way to try to look around the vendors to see things, and I mentioned to them hey, it'd be cool if we could see, right? And it's yeah, it would be pretty nice, but we can't, we're just kind of stuck back here. So that's something maybe to keep in mind for next year, is maybe it would work better to have them lining outwards, so that way there's empty paths that you can actually poke your head out and see the stage. The other issue is that the speakers up on the stage were I don't know sound engineering. If you've watched my videos, you probably know I don't know sound engineering. But the way they were laid out, they were kind of blocking off the people, because there were a lot of performances that were dancing. They were people doing ballet, people doing traditional Hispanic dancing, and you couldn't see their feet when they were on certain sides of the stage. And sometimes if you're sitting off to the sides, you wouldn't be able to see them at all, aside from their heads poking out because of the way the speakers were sitting. So I was trying to get footage, and like, unless I'm standing directly in the center near the front, I wouldn't be able to see them. And that's a bit of a shame. I don't know if it was necessarily that much of an issue for everyone else. And obviously there were some performances that were just music, and some of them weren't up on the stage, they were in the little section in front of it. And that's good too, you know, people can experience that. It's just something that, it's a little disappointing that you want to watch these performances and there's only very specific angles that you can see them from, and they're not always in the most convenient spots. So just something maybe to keep in mind for the future, when you have those speakers up there. Maybe if there's a way to move them out of the way somewhat, or prop them up sideways somehow. I don't know how speakers work. If there was no other way to do it, that's, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know, the performances kind of weren't visible as a result. So just one small thing to keep in mind. Because the performances themselves were good. Like I said, there was a ballet performance, there was different dance classes that each were putting on their own show. I know there was, I think Wanda Holdren's her name, she puts on different dance classes at the Goggle Works, and she had different students of different age levels performing up on stage, so that was cool. And then there was also Brazilian music I got to listen to. And I know later I believe it was the Lenape people were representing a drum circle in front of the stage, so that was cool. In between the different performances, you would have an MC that would go up to different vendors and ask them, like, hey, what's your stand about? And they would get to talk for a second on mic about either their business, their background, whatever it might be. So that was cool. I think that was a great way to get people like engaged. It's like, hey, if you haven't checked out this person yet, come out to check out this person. I think that's something a lot of events could benefit from, is just having like an MC just come around and talk to people, especially when it's a larger event like this. I think it's a really good way of like directing people and like helping to like shine a spotlight on somebody that might not be getting as much attention. So that's cool.
Hello, this is Coyote, one of Stone's boys, and we just want to say thank you for having us here. Beautiful day. And we're excited to share some music, some of our traditional powwow songs with you guys here today. And you can come down to the stand, check out some of our handmade artist work, green peppers and bangs and earrings and some beautiful stuff. So hope to see you guys down here.
Hi, we are representing Togo here, and this is our first participation, so we are so glad to be here. I'm going to start by the beginning. We have a traditional clothes right here that we call kente, but kente is used in Ghana, Togo, Benin, and part of Nigeria or Ivory Coast. So it's a special occasion clothes for us. And we have some traditional game that we call adito. Adito is like a mancala. People call it mancala here, but it's almost the same game. Some traditional musical instruments. We have some kitchen items that we have here. We can do our stew in this one. We have some traditional spoon and fork, traditional mats.
We have some traditional beads that are made with wood. This we drink in it. It's very popular in Togo. We have some clothes, half of Togo. This is the new way Togolese dress now. They use the cloth to make bags and some jewelry, and they use the cloth to wrap the head. We have some more masks. Like my sister said, this is our first participation, so we're looking forward for the years to come to bring more stuff to share with all of you. Thank you so much.
Dzień dobry. In Polish, that means good day. I hope everyone is having a good day here at the festival. We're the Polish American Heritage Association. We've been around since 1992, and we try to highlight our tradition, our culture, our heritage. We have a Polish American Cultural Center at the Goggle Works in room 509. We're open Sundays from noon to 4. Free admission, free parking, come on down. Our table has a display of all different things from Poland, costumes, wooden carvings, straw art, and Pichinongis that come to our table. Jinkuya. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are the Nigerian Association of Wedding and Berks County. We are a non-profit organization. We have lots of members in this county. We are dedicated to the social, cultural, economical, and educational development of our members and community.
I do think that when it comes to the vendors themselves that we picked, it was really cool to see cultures represented that I would not have gotten a chance to talk to otherwise. So like the people of Togo, that's something that's like, it's a country way out of my radar. Like there were some people that I thought were noticeably like missing. So on the website you can see that there is a list of sponsors, but they're not like a full list of sponsors. There's like these little like rotating, like you can click through and there's like icons for different groups, and you can see like the Jewish Federation of Berks County and then like Centro Hispano are both there, but I don't think I saw them at the event unless like I just completely missed them. But I was kind of like walking back and forth a few times and I didn't see them there, and I thought that was kind of odd. I don't know if maybe they're donated in past years, they couldn't make it to this event, but in general it was kind of something where like I felt like there were obvious people that probably could have been there that kind of weren't, and it did feel a little limited as a result. Like again, the people that were representing groups there, I thought it was really cool to see them. It's just one of those like, you can go even further, guys. Like, I don't know, you could have gotten Berks Celtic Association could have been there. I know the Romanian Foundation of Berks County or something like that, they did a festival like a couple weeks ago, so could have brought them in. I don't know. Maybe they were reached out to. I didn't actually get a chance to reach out to Bring the Change, who was in charge of this event, to talk to them. I didn't even get a chance to speak to them. Their booth was kind of busy. I don't know. They were talking with people like pretty much the entire time, and I don't know if it was like friends that they were talking to or like people asking things. I have no idea. I just got unlucky, I guess. I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody who was in charge. They just didn't seem like they were really offering up much information. So I don't know. It's a busy event. If they're busy, they're busy. I don't know. Maybe they were reached out to. Maybe they're people, again, they clearly had them on the website, so presumably there was some people that they were in contact with, but then they weren't there. So I don't know if it was just a scheduling issue, if there are permit issues. There were clearly like more open space that you could have set up stuff at the park itself. So I don't think it would have necessarily been a spacing issue, but also I don't know how those specific permits work. So maybe they did run out of space, but I feel like there could have been more representation, especially because like I don't think any Asian representation was there, unless I obviously missed it, which, you know, there isn't like a crazy huge Asian population inside of Berks County, but like it's not nobody. It would have been nice also to see a little bit more religious diversity. It was kind of one of those things where like there was a good amount of like, I believe it was Christian, primarily Christian Catholic like church representation, which again, Jewish Federation's on the website, wasn't there. I didn't see anybody from any other denominations, didn't see any like mosques or any groups representing any other beliefs, Hinduism or anything like that, Buddhism, nothing there. And who knows, again, I don't have anyone offhand that I could be like, this person should have been here. It's just one of those like, it feels like, I don't know, there has to be somebody, right? Because like some of the people, they were literally just random churches that were there. It wasn't like a big organization, it was just like a church that wanted to be there and wanted to set up a stand, which is fine. I think that's cool. But like, again, was there any mosques you could have reached out to? I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. That's not, I'm not here to accuse anybody of anything. It's just something that I'm curious about. I would hope that this festival is one of those instances where we can talk to those people. And in fairness, we could for certain groups. I think that could have been a little bit better, but the people that I did talk to were very nice.
The Multicultural Center is an open space for all students at Kutztown University. Everyone is welcome. That's always a slogan. We love to say it. We are recently trying to celebrate now Hispanic Heritage Month. We have events coming up all the way until October 15th, and we also have other coming up such as Ujima and the Indigenous Showcase. So you're welcome to stop by our Multicultural Center. We have a QR code there on Instagram, but we literally call the MCC, the Multicultural Center, and that's kind of like the main social media that we're always active on. We're also active on TikTok, which is the same username. It's good being out and being able to meet people from different communities and basically learn more from outside of just university.
It's an odd thing to go to an event like this and to hyperfixate on who wasn't there, because obviously it's about who is there. It's just something that when you're organization, when your event is set up specifically about celebrating so many different backgrounds and so many different cultures, and that's the theme of the event, you kind of want to feel like, all right, I'm seeing as much as I can possibly see at this event. This is that event. And especially when there's so much endorsement from the city. I know representatives were there, I know political parties were there, I know larger political movements were there. It's one of those things you would think they would want to be as like on top of that as possible, and maybe like find the best date, find as many people as you can, make this as big an event as you can. And it just didn't feel like it was as big as it could have been, which could be funding, it could be a lack of, again, like scheduling is just difficult. Sometimes people just can't make it to things. I fully understand that. But I'm definitely curious if that's the case, if it's just as simple as that and I just am over-reading into it. In which case, maybe we should do more events like that throughout the year. I'd be happy to reach out to you guys and do a video if you see this. Of course, I'm always happy to reach out to anybody involved with any of the groups I talk to and talk more about it. If you want to do a full video, if you just want to talk behind the scenes, whatever you want to do. And if you don't want to do that, that's also fine. You don't have to spend your time talking to me. I'm just some guy. Again, overall it was a nice vibe. I appreciated all the people there, and I appreciated them, the people who took the time to talk to me. I'm sorry that the audio didn't really turn out right in this video. I know someone after I recorded them, they were like, I don't know if you're going to hear any of that. And truthfully, I was like, yeah, I don't think I am. That's kind of when I was like, all right, I think I need to stop recording people directly talking to me, because there's no way anybody can hear anything that they're saying in this. I mean, even trying to just like talk to people, I was like less than a foot away from someone, like basically yelling at them, and they could not hear me because it was just so loud at that event, which isn't an issue per se. I guess you could call it an issue when like half of the people there, they didn't have anything to sell or anything really to like do except talk directly to you, and if you can't hear them, it's kind of impossible to do anything. But you know, I think they were there and they had like cards and information and pamphlets and stuff like that, so people could, you know, reach out to them later or look them up later or find out information just from like reading stuff. So it wasn't impossible. Just a thought. I think that maybe the mentality going into this event was more leaning into like we're here to have kind of like a party of sorts, which kind of clashes with the information booth style nature of the way that everything was set up. So there's a lot of like loud music, MCs, you know, like we're here to like have fun, but then the actual like event itself is a lot more informational based and a lot more slow and a lot more like, you know, dialogue, which kind of clashes with each other a little bit. I don't think those two things have to clash with each other, just maybe it was something about the venue too. City Park's a good venue for a lot of events, but like something like this maybe was a little bit too, I don't know if it was close quartered, I don't know if maybe the music was too loud, I don't know. These are just observations I'm making. At this point I'm probably going to continue repeating myself if I keep rambling, but like I said, if you want to see more about Bring the Change or the Cultural Diversity Festival or any of the vendors that were there, I have links listed in the description below. I also have my own personal socials, so you can check me out on Instagram or Facebook. It's Berks1on1. In case anyone was curious, I do have a TikTok. I don't use it anymore. I could, but who knows what's happening with that app, so I'm just not going to bother until the dust is settled. But otherwise, Instagram, Facebook, like I said, I do a lot of posts where I talk about events upcoming on the weekend on my stories. I talk about different events I've gone to that maybe I didn't make a full video on, but I got some photos, I got some videos from that, so if you want to check me out on there. I like to help people find out about more events and businesses upcoming. I'm always sharing stuff that other people are posting, so it's a great place, honestly, to find out more about Berks County. I think it's kind of taking off more than I expected, because I was originally kind of set up just like, we're just doing YouTube, but other social media platforms, if it helps people find events, I'm happy to help you out there too. So feel free to follow me on that, or just subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of my full-length videos. If you like me talking like this, hopefully we'll be able to build a more of a format with that. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I'm happy to do videos like this when I can't get like my traditional interview style videos out. And until next time, this is Berks1on1 signing off. I don't know if you guys care what's in the background. Like, these are like Legos. And, you know, I took this out of the way in previous videos because I was like, I don't want to come off too childish here, but like, I don't know. I collect Legos. Is that endearing? Is that endearing in 2025 for an adult that have Legos in the background? Maybe not. But, who knows? I like to think it's endearing. But that's maybe just wishful thinking. I'm sure most of you don't care. Have a good night, everybody. It's probably uploading in the morning. I know I'm saying have a good night.